Question 4. Why does the Bible contain so much anti-scientific nonsense?
Hydrology, the study of water, deals with the occurrence and behavior of water in its natural state. Air and water have been the two necessities for maintaining life ever since the global atmosphere and hydrosphere were established by God on the second day of creation week. The hydrologic cycle describes the cooperation of atmosphere and hydrosphere in maintaining a fresh supply of water for the daily needs of all forms of life. Because of its importance, water has been of paramount concern to every tribe and nation since the beginning, and the remains of ancient canals, irrigation systems, reservoirs, and drainage networks are evidence of this truth. Despite this concern, the concept of the hydrological cycle and its successive phases, evaporation, atmospheric circulation, condensation, precipitation, runoff, was not discovered, or possibly rediscovered, until recent centuries. Yet there are several significant references in Job that are remarkably consistent with modern hydrology and meteorology. For example, consider Job chapter 28, verses 24 through 27.
For he looketh to the ends of the earth, and seeth under the whole heaven, to make the weight for the winds, and he weigheth the waters by measure. When he made a decree for the rain, and a way for the lightning of the thunder, then did he see it, and declare it. He prepared it, yea, and searched it out.
We now know that the global weights of air and water must be in critical relationship to each other and to the earth as a whole to maintain life on Earth. No other planet in the solar system has a significant amount of either air or water, and no other planets are known to exist in the universe. Planet Earth is uniquely designed for life, and its atmosphere and hydrosphere are the most important components of that design. If the weights of either air or water were much different than they are, life as we know it could not survive. This passage is also significant in recognizing that air and wind have weight, a fact not obvious to the physical senses and not confirmed scientifically until about 300 years ago. The study of air flows and their relation to the weight of the air has been developed into the science of aerodynamics, eventually becoming the basis of all modern aerospace developments. The parallel study of water flows and forces is called hydrodynamics, the basis of ship design, hydroelectric plants, and a multitude of other hydraulic systems. The indication in this Joban passage that there is a parallel between the behavior of air and water was recognized in the late 19th century when the sciences of aerodynamics and hydrodynamics were combined into the discipline of fluid dynamics. This key science embraces the behavior of all fluids, including the phenomena of petroleum and natural gas reservoirs and their uses. The verses cited may suggest all these future developments, but originally they applied specifically to the hydrologic cycle. The weight of the winds controls the worldwide air mass movements that transport the waters evaporated from the oceans inland over the continents. There, the waters, also carefully measured by God, fall to the ground to water the earth. But how is all this accomplished? Water weighs much more than air, so how is it retained in the sky at all? Here is how.
For he maketh small the drops of water. They pour down rain according to the vapour thereof, which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly.
Water is converted by solar energy into the vapor state. Since water vapor is lighter than air, the winds can first elevate, then transport the water from the oceans to the lands where it is needed. There, under the right conditions, the vapor can condense around dust particles, salt particles, and other nuclei of condensation. When this happens, clouds are formed. Water vapor is invisible, whereas clouds are aggregations of liquid water droplets. But then the question again must be raised: how do the clouds stay aloft? Job rightly stressed the remarkable nature of this phenomenon.
Dost thou know the balancings of the clouds, the wondrous works of him, which is perfect in knowledge?
They did not know in his day.
He wraps up the waters in his clouds, yet the clouds do not burst under their weight.
The secret, however, is again in the weight of the winds and in the fact that he maketh small the drops of water. The water droplets are indeed very small, and their weight is sustained by the drag force of the uprushing winds, as the air is pushed skyward due to temperature decrease with elevation. How is this balancing of the clouds finally overcome so that they can pour down rain according to the vapor thereof? The answer is given in Job 37:11.
Also by watering. He wearieth the thick cloud. He scattereth his bright cloud.
By watering, he wearieth the thick cloud. That is, the water droplets coalesce to form larger and larger drops, which finally become so large that their weight is greater than the drag forces of the uprushing atmospheric turbulence, causing them to fall to the ground as rain or snow. But then, what makes the small droplets become large enough to do this? Some clouds never fall, while others grow dark and heavy. What makes the difference? The answer is in our original passage. He made a decree for the rain and a way for the lightning of the thunder. With the right combination of air turbulence and clouds, the complex forces generate an electrical field that produces lightning discharges. These violent electrical currents, in some complex energy exchange not yet fully understood, cause the small water droplets to bind together with others to form larger drops. Finally, this remarkable series of events delivers the rain to the thirsty ground. This is also the theme of some of God's rhetorical questions in his challenge to Job and his friends.
Who hath divided a water course for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning of thunder, to cause it to rain on the earth, where no man is, on the wilderness, wherein there is no man, to satisfy the desolate and waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth? Hath the rain a father, or who hath begotten the drops of dew?
So God had to devise a system for watering the earth. This he accomplished by activating the marvelous engine which we know today as the hydrologic cycle.